So the green and gold squads were chosen by Rassi Erasmus and Jacques Ninaba. It's kind of like the South African equivalent of North versus South. It's coming up this weekend. I actually need to double check the broadcasters. It's one thing I haven't done. But my kids are coming home shortly, and I figured let's get this done before that happens. Yeah, I'll put the squads on the board here. This one's the green one. This one's the gold one. I have heard some people say could have been done better, could have been done some kind of inland coastal thing. Which team do I get behind? Green or gold doesn't make a difference to me. Just go with players you like, is what I would say. Although we did the North Island, South Island thing here in New Zealand, the way they divided the players up was a bit fake, really. Like you had the Barrett brothers playing for different islands, when I can assure you they come from the same place. So, yeah, I think this format works. It was interesting to see the draft order. They didn't do quite like a proper draft in terms of you just open to pick whoever, but maybe that's saving the players a bit of face at times. Like they picked by position, so they picked props off from the pool of props, then hookers, then locks, then loose forwards, like that, rather than just being free to pick, start with a fly half or start with a fullback kind of thing. But you probably should be starting with props anyway, so it kind of makes sense. See, man, Stephen Kitsoff was the first guy picked. That's a pretty fair choice. He's one of the best in the world. But yeah, we'll go over the squads. Some of the guys who missed out, and you guys can let me know your thoughts as well, man. This game's only a week away, so happy days from South Africa after such a long absence. We've got a flurry of rugby. Props for green is Nche, Dutoy, Inyekane, and De Bruyne. I don't know a whole lot about De Bruyne. I think he plays for the Cheetahs from memory, but Trevor Nyakane, Oxenche, and Thomas Dutoy, pretty useful props right there. For gold, though, it is Stephen Kitsoff, Dylan Smith, Franz Malherba, and Randrea. So, who do you give that to in terms of props? Maybe gold, but it's not much in it, man. The propping stocks are looking pretty well loaded. Hookers in Bonambi and Erasmus, Intubeni and Richardson for gold. Maybe you give that one to green. But again, you're kind of splitting the Stormers hookers with Intubeni and Bonambi. Those are your kind of experienced guys. And then, you've got younger guys there as well who can back up. I don't think there's a whole lot of that. Locks, which is one area which is a big one to watch in South Africa, given how many injuries the Springboks regular starters have sustained. You got Schickerling, Andrews, and Mohoje for green. And Morat, Ori, and Jenkins for gold. I think I probably lean towards gold for that one. I haven't seen Mohoje play for years. I know he's been there with the Cheetahs. I remember once years ago when I first started my channel, I picked like some kind of hypothetical Springboks team and I picked Mohoje, and man, people didn't like it. I don't know how he's been playing for the last few years. But yeah, he's been a Springbok, that's for sure. Schickerling seems pretty good value. Andrews as well, but I think Morat, Ori, and Jenkins, maybe I'm leaning that way, to be honest. Loosies, you got Arno Botha, Vermeulen, Pokomela, and Augustus, plus Colisi. I missed his name out there. How could you miss him? World Cup winning captain. And for gold, it's Van Staden, Carr, Noche, Chituka, and Fenta. That, I think I'm leaning towards green. I mean, the fact that you've got Vermeulen and Colisi on one side, plus you can chuck in Arno Botha, you can chuck in Augustus. I don't know much about Pokomela. He's another one I think plays for the Cheetahs. So you guys will have to give me an education on what kind of player he is. But that's a fair bit of Springbok cap right there. For gold, I mean, Van Staden is a pretty bloody good fetcher, I know that. Nizam Carr, I've seen him playing a bit when he was abroad, so it's good to see him back. Not sure, him and Augustus were just kind of cancelling each other out in terms of Super Rugby prior to lockdown, so that they kind of cancel each other out here. Fenta, from memory, was having a pretty bloody good season for the Sharks, and Chituka seems like a pretty solid prospect as well, but I still think experience, you go with green for that one. What do you guys reckon? Scrum halves, you got Nohamba and Papia. For green, and for gold, it's Yankees, it's Herschel and Hendricks, who I don't think I'd seen play until the Superfan Saturday. I think he scored a try from memory. Which one do you pick from these ones? Herschel Yankee certainly had a pretty explosive arrival onto the scene for the Boks, whereas Ambrose Papia kind of mostly spent his Springboks career riding the pine. But then again, Faf de Klerk's kind of been the guy at that level, so Nohamba seems the business well. It was nice seeing his bullet pass out there, so maybe I'm inching this way, but again, not by much. Not by much. Whereas the next position, if you look at fly half, you got Elton Yankees and Mani Libok for green, whereas you got Kerwin Bosch and Damian Willemse for gold. I mean, experience with Elton, but I think guys who need to put their hand up to be Andre Pollard's backup, you got two of them on the gold side, so I'll probably be leaning with gold, but who knows? Maybe experience counts in a game like this. Which one's going to start, Willemse or Bosch, or do you put one at fullback because they can both play fullback as well? Likewise, you could chuck Libok at fullback as well if you wanted for green. Centres, you got Frans Steyn, Similani, and Ward for green. And you've got Pretorius, Koch, and Russ for gold. That's another area that maybe is looking a bit, I don't want to say light, but I mean, it's not, apart from Lucanio it's not really the starting Springbok midfield, is it? But I mean, Frans Steyn, who we haven't seen play for quite some time, at least I haven't, is there as well, experienced man. He was riding the pine a bit with his versatility at the World Cup. But Cox, like a Sevens legend, and I think Pretorius played at the weekend, so yeah, there's a fair bit to like. But I'm not sure who the starting combos are, apart from the fact that probably starts alongside someone else. And I don't know, do you start Frans Steyn at his age, or do you give him to ride the pine as well? Erasmus seems to like him with that kind of bomb squad bench, so maybe he does the same trick here. Don't know. And outside backs, you've got Sinatla, Pinkler, Lombard, and Ya for green. I've seen Ya in Pro 14 highlights videos, I'm sure. Wasn't he on some big old try-scoring run from memory? Lombard's obviously playing with the Lions. Pinkler, I had to look up, playing for the Kings. I don't know much about him. I did see a couple of try highlights from him. And Sinatla is Sinatla, so he's going to do what he does. And for gold, you've got Peterson, Speckman, and Galant. You could probably put Koch onto the wing as well, something if you wanted, so they're going to be flexible, but I think that's just the way they were listed on the site that I read them anyway. So, Galant at fullback, Willemse at 10, or Bosch at 10. I definitely want Galant at fullback for gold. Which way do you lean? I like Speckman and Galant, to be honest, but I haven't seen enough of Ya and Pinkler and whatnot to really comment too much about that one. So yeah, we'll definitely need kind of an education from some of you guys. I don't know much about Russ either. He played for the Lions, but I can't seem to recall any kind of clear memories from him. But yeah, those are the squads, man. It's going to be pretty bloody good. That North-South game was at another level. Now, I'm not sure we should be putting too much pressure on these guys because it's like second week back for them. But again, it's kind of one where there's not a whole lot on the line. Maybe it's kind of been planned well, whereas the North-South thing had a couple of trophies on the line. Some old historic North-South Island trophy. This one, again, it's kind of like pre-season, albeit elite level, Springbok level pre-season. So maybe that takes a little bit of the pressure off. I think that's one thing that was a good success about Superfan Saturday, was the fact that the guys could kind of open up because there wasn't like match points on the line, and I think the result we got from it was pretty pleasing. So yeah, those are the squads. A fair few guys missed out. I wrote down Berger Odendaal. He was in the pool from memory, didn't get selected. Gaboka, I think, is injured from what I heard in the commentary on Superfan Saturday. Massane from the Lions, I seem to remember him having a pretty good pre-lockdown season, but he's not been selected. Kalu Sadi, didn't he play at the weekend for the Lions as well? He seemed to be like the next big up-and-coming prop, but hasn't made the call. Travis Ishmael, Cornell Hendricks. He had a pretty good weekend as well, but I guess the draft was made before the games from memory. Ronell, and there's more, but yeah. What do you guys reckon? Who are you leaning towards, green or gold for this one? To be fair, there are quite a lot of Stormers in the gold side, aren't there? So do you kind of just go Stormers against the rest? I don't know. It's being a bit unfair because it's a mix, but there just seem to be a lot of Stormers in that gold side just at a glance. But yeah, you guys have seen some of these guys, especially the Cheetahs guys, and I think it's just the one king in Pinkler, but do give me some insights into them because, as I said, the Pro 14 is such a massive competition. I really haven't had much of a look at it apart from the odd highlights package here and then, the odd game when there's been a bit of free time in my life. But overall, you got to be pretty pumped, man. After Super Fan Saturday, to get this game kind of doubling down on the back of that, pretty well executed. So I'll give kudos to the people who are running the show over in South Africa. There was some good decisions made in organising this. But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts. How do you reckon it's going to go? Are you going to back a particular team or just kind of see it for the festival game that it is? And yeah, I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.